What's good? What's good? This is RawTruth Media, joined by Coach Joe. How you doing?
Hey, well, I'm doing great, DJ. How you doing today, the young G?
Man, good. You know why I'm happy, right?
Go ahead.
Lamelo played 36 minutes. 36 minutes. About time.
How about that? How about that? Yeah, it was weird seeing him on the floor with four fouls and JB not using that as an excuse to keep him on the bench. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I'm like, is this the right JB? Is this an imposter? Because
Hmm.
usually when Lamelo gets four fouls, he's diminishing his minutes.
Hmm.
But another thing I noticed. And I couldn't forget Lamelo outdueled Trae Young.
Well, you know, when I think of dual DJ, I think of two dudes, in the old Western days, and they standing 12 feet apart. They got their guns on their hips, and whoever just draw fastest, you live or die. It didn't seem like the other dudes showed up. It seemed like it was one dude standing in the street in the road with his guns on, and the other dude was in the bathroom.
You know what? To be fair, Trae Young was off.
I mean,
Like, hey, this is horrible. This is a bad game for him, man.
I
I
mean, hey, and look, we've been seeing great players, use teams like the Hornets to have huge, them huge, humongous games, 50, 60 points, all that kind of stuff. So I was thinking Trae would be coming ready to do the same thing Kyrie did, to show everybody he can do it too. But I was like, wow, okay.
I thought I
I
thought Trae.
don't think he had any points at half.
No, he didn't. And I thought Trae Young was going to get drop a 40 burger
At
on the
least
Hornets.
50.
Yeah, up there. I really thought he would, but they play the Hornets again, and I'm sure Trae Young is going to have a better output. Um, Lamelo didn't have. He could have had a triple double. He had 22 points, shot 5 for 10, three, shot 7 for 16 field goals, 11 assists, 8 rebounds, and the rebounding was interesting in a sad way. Every time Lamelo tries to get a rebound to start the break, Plumlee and others taking his rebounds, snatching it, and that's what I'm talking about. I pay attention to that crap.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I hear you. And I see it, and the reason that it didn't bother me as much as it ordinarily would is because they so bad at rebounding anyway.
Yeah, that's
So,
a good
so,
point.
so, so to see two Hornets going for the doggone ball, like I saw today, Lamelo fighting Plumlee and Montrez rebounds. I saw him. I was like, okay, well, hey, at least, and I saw myself. I saw Melo win it a couple times too. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I saw him win it a couple of times, and so like I said, they so bad at doggone rebounding, and it cost them so many games here lately. That shucks. I'm happy to see it's just the big dudes at least trying to crash the doggone boards, do their
And
damn job.
and look at this. Montrez Harrell with 20 points in 20 minutes. He was efficient. 6 or 7 free throws, 7 for 9 field goals. Man, a good spark off the bench. But what did we say about Montrezl Harrell? He's an undersized big man, and
Right.
even though he brings energy, uh, the Hornets need a big man in the worst way, especially
Fact.
this off season. They need a 7 footer that can just run and defend the paint. That's their Achilles heel. Uh, the Hornets are so lazy in addressing it. They could have got Mo Bamba. They could have made a trade with Orlando to do it. Orlando's not trying to give him no money. We all know the deal, and they could have really took advantage of that contract But the Hornets, they remind me of the Dallas Cowboys in a way right now, not the Cowboys back in the day.
Uh-huh.
See how the Cowboys are so cheap. Um, the Dallas Cowboys could have had Randy Gregory, Coach Joe,
Mm-hmm.
but Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones' son, he's the cheap one in the family trying to rig deals. Uh, he tried to put some incentives on his contract,
Okay.
and
What kind?
just like extra drug
No, no, no,
tests.
no. I mean, well, what kind of incentives? Like that he had to turn into a Mars? He had to find a way to get to Mars? I mean, what? What do you got to do?
They told it pretty much says that Randy Gregory has to take multiple drug tests and here and there, and the Denver Broncos didn't have those incentives. That's why he chose Denver over Dallas,
Okay.
and
Okay.
plus it was messing up with his money. They provided less guarantees.
Well, I mean, hey, if it's piss test that they wanted to test for, and he chose Colorado over Texas, I would understand.
But it really it's the money in the contract, like putting less guarantees in there, and that's the Hornets. The
Well,
Hornets are trying.
well, see, DJ, we got to go with the game within the game if we're gonna talk about this.
Right.
See, them contracts are littered with a lot of those incentives because, they want to always make sure that people that they don't trust with the money, that they gonna continue to play hard for the money
Hmm.
and give them over and beyond what they are paying for. So, they put all these incentives in there, and and that's why I was asking. What are they asking him to do? Is he have to cure cancer? I mean, what do you got to do other than rush the quarterback? So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just what I call the Hornets, the flea market of the NBA.
Well,
What-
and that's the thing. You can't say that about Dallas, can we?
No, no, not some. The Dallas has become cheap in some areas. I'm a
Well,
fan.
what I mean, flea market. They ain't nothing flea about them.
No, that's the only difference.
America's team, huh?
Uh huh. Wow, they
Mhm.
even cheaper than Dallas,
Mm,
and Cowboy fans are pissed off because we ain't really spending enough money this all season, and everybody
mm,
else is.
mm.
But I'm looking at the standings, Coach Joe, and I had to let Hornet fans know the real. I'm looking if to even secure a seed, the Charlotte Hornets have to go on a big run, and they have to go on a big run because you can't just count on the teams that are above them to go on a losing streak. Not too many of them are going on losing streaks. They may lose two straight, but they'll bounce back and win four straight. The Eastern Conference is so improved, Coach. Can you elaborate how difficult this is to even make an eighth seed in this division?
Yeah, this new format is so weird at times. At times I think I understand what's going on, and other times I feel like somebody's talking Chinese calligraphy to me. I don't get it. So, you know what? This is the weirdest thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's supposed to be there, so I should be paying attention to it. But there's a part of my brain that just says this is foreign. It's not really real, and it'll go away if I don't pay attention to it. But I guess that ain't happening, is it? So I guess I'm gonna have to deal with it. And you know, you know, I just think that now and where everybody is now and how close everybody is, from I guess 6 to 11 or 12 or at least 10, and within a few games here and there that it matters, and with the sand running out of the sand out of the hourglass, it's only few of what is it, 15 games left, something like
Right.
that maybe. Yeah, so it ain't that many left, and so tick tick tick, and so you probably gonna maybe you might be able to move up like in the Hornets case, they may be able to continue to switch, places with the Hornets. Hornets play, that chair game. We go around in circles. So you can sit down first, and who ends up on the floor on their butt. So the Hornets might end up, doing that with the Atlanta. But I don't think they're gonna go no different than 9-10.
No, 9 and 10 is where they're. If you and Hornet fans, man, I know you're happy for this win. You should celebrate. This is a division rival,
Yep.
and anytime you beat the Hawks, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm reading this. I'm going to read their schedule again because this is you got the Dallas Mavericks next. Guess what? And I posted this on Twitter, Coach Joe,
Uh-huh.
and one of the Hornets. Uh, I think it's like Baller or something. It's
Mm-hmm.
like another NBA version of an NBA Twitter page.
Okay.
And let me see, because I posted it. Uh, Bally Sports Hornets posted, and they're verified. Back at the Hive on Saturday night, big game, catch y'all here in the Southeast, and it has a picture of Luka Doncic and Terry Rozier. Now we all know that Terry Rozier is not the marquee player of that game. The nerve,
Facts.
the nerve of this team to put Terry Rozier and Luca like they're the stars. I
Hey,
understand Luca.
but you know what though, DJ?
What?
I've been seeing it on the ticker on watching NBA TV. It's been pissing me off, and ESPN. Today I saw it.
Wow.
They had Miles and Terry. I was like, what? It's about the second or third time I've seen it. Where they just left Lamelo off, and he led him in scoring.
Luca
I've
Doncic,
seen it. It's weird.
man, he is going to put on some points, man. I saw against Brooklyn. The good thing is the Hornets got a couple days of rest until Saturday, March 19th. But man,
Mm-hmm.
the Jason Kidd, shout out to Jason Kidd, who's doing a phenomenal job in Dallas. I'm not surprised. Uh,
Mm.
he's taking the teams to playoffs. I wish the Hornets had him as a coach. I tell you that. Uh, he is
um,
really doing his thing.
I wanted to say one thing about the game before we tie it up on that way.
Yeah.
Is I'm kind of getting used to the how do we say the community box score.
Hmm.
They usually have three to four sometimes. All five stars. Well, not all five stars, but because not clumsily he ain't included. But one of the guys off the bench, Oubre or Martin or J.D. McDaniels or somebody, or even Thor, would get 10 points or something. So they playing pretty well. It has fit in pretty well. He hasn't to me taken too much away from Melo.
Yeah. That's
I see that as a net gain right now as the Hornets go. And making decisions. You know what I mean? Because all their decisions have to be really, really given about 5 to 10 games, to really take a look at. But Isaiah seems to be, to me, he's been worth at least that those 10 days for sure, and probably the rest of the year, because he seems to fit in with the chemistry there with that team, and that's kind of interesting that Montrez and Isaiah came in and fit right in with this team. So big win for them. They usually don't beat Atlanta. Atlanta play without John Collins.
hmm
Atlanta's usually bigger than significantly in those areas at power forward and up front with Hunter and Collins and Capella. So they didn't seem to have that advantage today. And we already spoke about Trae Young being just not himself. I don't know what was going on with him, but maybe just one of them games, But he didn't play himself at all. So when you lose his activity, his points, his assists, his activity, that team relies on him so much. They seemed like they couldn't get out of gear. And it was to the Hornets' benefit. So, and the Hornets took advantage of it. And that's what you're supposed to do when you're a team that's trying to do what you do, trying to make some noise and separate yourself. You're supposed to separate yourself and make noise. And so they doing that. What is it? It's a third win in a row.
Yep. Wait,
Yeah. So,
yeah,
right.
3 wins, 3-game winning streak. I know the first two. Let's keep it 1,000, Coach Joe.
Uh
They
huh.
took advantage of injuries.
Mm-hmm.
The New Orleans Pelicans played without Bi,
Mm-hmm.
Zion, and McCollum. Now
Mm-hmm.
Zion been out the whole year, so really
Right.
just Bi and McCollum,
Right.
and that's their offense. And OKC, they took care of business. They're supposed to blow them out. The
Mm-hmm.
win against Atlanta was needed. That was a good win. At the end of the day, they're
Mm-hmm.
they're 35-35. You can't really take anything away, but you can
Right.
point out what they need to do. Someone said this on Twitter, Coach Joe.
Uh huh.
The Hornets are one of those teams that stop doing what works to win games.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So you got an analytics department. They keep saying trust the analytics, which is fine. But they don't even follow their analytics. So if analytics says, Coach Joe, they don't follow analytics. If analytics says when Lamelo plays 35 or more minutes, the Hornets are above 500. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to win every game, but it increases your chances of winning. You would think they will do it more,
You
but they go,
think?
yeah, but they go back to the bad habits. Why is that,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Joe? I know why, but you do a great job at explaining the the inner details of this
Well,
mindset.
DJ. One of the most difficult things to do, I think, in fairness, and I'm feeling very judicial tonight, if you will.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm gonna
Hmm.
be fair, or what I call fair. Um, you know, uh, JB's a middle of the road coach. I don't believe in um, riding people's coattails, and
Hmm.
particularly when it comes to coaching, because there's such a big difference between the first and the second seat, depending upon where that seat is located. So, because everything is relative, right? Not all high schools grade the same. Not all colleges grade the same. Not all NBA franchises grade the same. So some seats are hotter than others, just virtue of where they are, right?
Hmm.
And so um, for Borrego, um, he fits one particular anomaly about great players that's just inescapable to me, and that's great players who come into the league. Their first coaches never stick. They always have some issue like this, whether they winning or losing. It's just something about the first coach just not being able to have a vision or trusting or I don't quite understand it sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but sometimes it does because people are above their skis. But then when you have people like Phil Jackson come in, okay, when he took over for Doug Collins, I mean, he had no pedigree. He didn't sit on nobody's bench or nothing like that. And as a player, he was known as a weird kind of hippie type of dude. And so and look at what he's going on to be, the winningest coach if not in the history of the NBA, and coaching iconic teams, okay, and winning with them championships. So you know Borrego's just in over his skis. Well, when the Hornets are supposed to push the pedal and go, he hits the brakes and stop. You ever in the car with somebody who just always riding their damn brakes? And they swear they know how to drive, but they always touching them. It's like, man, will you get your hand? What are you doing, man? Either get
Hey,
under the
Coach Joe, they're the people that be swerving. Say,
yeah,
I got this. I got this.
oh my stars, DJ. It's just ridiculous, right? You know what I'm saying? That's them dudes, man. That's them dudes. You know, they don't really know where they are. They don't really know what they have, and their instincts are all wrong. When it's time to shift, they shift up, they go down. When it's time to go right, they go left. Their instincts are all off, like you were just saying about the analytics. There's so many analytics that points to how Melo's presence on the field, on the floor with his teammates, and the combinations and all thereafter says that they are a better team than not. And then if you just look at it and just talk to somebody, maybe somebody that don't even see that well, they would just tell you, man, it seems like this Melo kid is pretty good. So it seems like it's a lot of people that think that, but this team here, they need a dude like Isaiah Thomas to come in and point out almost with 15 games left that Melo is the straw that stirs the drink. This thing is so ass backwards, it's unbelievable. He been over there sitting over there playing with them dudes and been around them dudes for all. And this kid, the veteran comes in who they know they can't say he don't know what he's talking about. They can't say he don't know, he don't have the experience. They can't say none of that. So he just pointed out, and he just big boyed all of them too. I like how he came through the door, DJ Isaiah Thomas. He just kicked the door in. Now look, Gordon, you was my rookie, and Terry, you a little boy too, so you be quiet. And Trae, you know me, and you ain't got nothing to say. Y'all just get in line, and they
Mm-hmm.
did because it's a grown man league. That's what it's about. And he the grownest man in there with the most credentials in there. He is the littlest one, and so he had to tell us the world and tell Melo, his team, and his coaches. Everything starts and begins with him. Him, that dude right there. We go as he go. So all these other narratives, y'all can put them to bed, and Melo can stop. You know that the press conference where I heard him saying he gonna stop listening to him, and he gonna trust in himself. We know what that's saying. We don't hear nobody else saying those types of things when they was on this path that Melo's on. Them
Right.
dudes that are ahead of him, we didn't hear that, but we hear that with this kid, and we know who we talking about. So I was very much happy to see after those comments and all of what's come out of those comments, Melo played the kind of game he played today. Because to me, he played like uh, what JB what JB who and JB how he just played. He looked more like himself to me than I loved it tonight.
I loved it too, and kudos again to Lamelo Ball for always each game rising above the doubt, the hate. He just keeps bringing it. This young man is a fighter. He loves the game of basketball. You could tell in his play. Basketball is life to him, man. And
Mm.
that term "ball is life." It means something to Lamelo when he plays on that court, and
Mm.
and you see the joy and the laughter. And when he took that last three, um, I'm glad he shot that three. I'm gonna tell you why, because I saw some people bitching about it and taking out the fun. But Lamelo's like, I'm not about to have another turnover on my stat sheet just holding the ball. Because I remember when he was a rookie, they would give him the ball the last few seconds and want him to run the clock out and have a turnover in his name. He's like, no, I'll just shoot it. And he shot a long ass three and made it.
Mm-hmm.
It did his thing. But I
Wait a minute, but hold on, DJ. Hold on. What did Atlanta do after he made his three?
they scored at will too. They didn't hold the ball.
Exactly. That's exactly. They
Yeah.
went down. They went down and scored until the clock went under 24. When the clock went under 24, like I had some company on my house. We watching the game, and he said Melo probably gonna shoot another. I said no because Miles ain't gonna give him the ball. He want to shoot it, but Miles ain't gonna give him the ball.
Mm.
And show us shit. Miles didn't give him the ball because Melo would have shot it. But see, this is the thing that is apparent to everybody involved. If you remember a couple of games ago, Melo was, I think it might have been the Oklahoma City game, and the clock was being run out, and Melo had the ball, And did you? It may have not have been, but it may have been. But at the end, the player was guarding Melo tight before the ball was inbounded, so he wouldn't get it. Did you know? I can't think of what team that was, but it was a game before, like a game, either the last game or the game before that. And they were like, "No, I'm not letting Melo shoot the ball because people know he'll do that." And they know he'll do that because that's how Melo is. That's his personality. He ain't doing that to show you up or them up or them up or trying to be the dude that's on Sports Center. None of that. This is Melo Ball's personality. He loves this game. He loves to win. He hates to lose. And he just love to be out there though. If he could be out there and play, if he could get a rest for a half hour and then come out and play another game after that, the game doubleheader, he'd be down. Okay, Magic said it. He said the thing that really I feel like reminds me of myself about LaMelo is that he's a gym rat like me, like I was.
Sure did.
That's right, and that's what he looks like when he's doing that, and that's what they see his peers. That's why you don't see nobody making no big deal out of it. Nobody ain't saying nothing. Ain't nobody trying to foul him hard, set no hard picks on him. See, because they could retaliate if they don't like what he's doing, they'll let him know to stop doing it. They'll set a screen and knock his teeth loose. Well, he wearing a mouth guard, so he won't get his knocked loose, but he'll get shooken up. I'm trying to tell you, this is a grown man league, and if they don't like what you're doing when you're young, they'll let you know. Don't do that. And they don't tell him that. So them dudes is trying to say that they just haters, man.
Right. They sure are, man. Just, um, I know this topic, this video is about Lamelo, but I'm just in awe still of Kyrie Irving.
Oh my stars, man. We can talk about Kyrie at 24/7 because he's open like 7-Eleven. Woo,
Kyrie,
that boy is unbelievable, ain't he?
I want to say this about the NBA. You got to be ashamed of yourselves of not putting Kyrie Irving on the top 75 of all time.
Oh my stars.
Kyrie Irving's one of the most skilled basketball players I've seen, and I watch film on almost every single player. On my spare time, I go on YouTube and just look at a player that I haven't seen. Like, let me give you an example: David Thompson.
Ooh,
He was like
Skywalker.
he was Jordan before Jordan,
Facts.
and you know this because he battled with addiction and stuff. If he didn't
Yes.
have those drug problems, he would have played longer, would have broken some more records. But he used to average like 25 points per game with the Denver Nuggets,
Facts.
like it ain't nothing.
Like it ain't nothing.
Would dunk on you, would
Mm.
just
His nickname was Skywalker. Okay.
45-inch vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the truth. I've uh, not only David Thompson. I looked at film at Bill Walton and
Mm-hmm.
just all types.
Bill was the truth, boy. Bill didn't have feet problems.
Man,
Shoot, man, Bill was the truth. As crazy as he sound as he's talking, that's how good he was as a player.
oh yeah, they used to say he was. I think my father told me he was. He said if it wasn't for his foot problems, he would have been like the white version of Kareem. That's how.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
That's what Pops told me.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. He was unbelievable. He could do it all.
Bad boy, man.
He was a bad boy.
Yeah, but Kyrie Irving, man,
No,
he should have
Kyrie
been a
is something.
top 75.
He's something special, and and it's an indictment against them, to because me and you spoke a little bit about this, and it just burns my hide. That's why I'm so happy to hear. It pisses me off to no end because it's really about how we as black men are judged. Even when we are beyond excellence. When we are performing, or we are risen to the level of such heights that just boggle the mind. They will still convince some of us to go along with it, that we shouldn't believe in that person, and we should hold that person with suspect, when there is so much evidence to the contrary. It's not even funny. I mean, it's mind boggling. Kyrie has never been in trouble with the law. He doesn't. He's not known as a philanderer as well. He ain't known as hitting all the time. He ain't known as anything but somebody to have some views on some few topics that people think are a little off the mainstream or weird, whatever. But what the hell does that have to do with this dude's brilliance and his genius as a basketball player? It just shows you how ridiculous this is, and that we all would participate, those of us that love it, in this charade, and not say what this is, blatantly what this is. This is being punished for doing what they say they don't like. And what that is whatever they say they don't like.
And Coach Joe, we all hear that the NFL has politics, and we understand that, but we're starting to see even more. I've known for years.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what they did to uh, Chris Jackson at the time. Maul Raul,
That's
uh,
right.
the Steph before Steph Curry, man,
Right.
he scored 50 points on Jordan. It was so
Man,
bad that Phil Jackson had to take Jordan off of him
he was.
because he didn't want him to look embarrassed. I mean, it was trying to put
Man,
everybody else on him. It just didn't work, man.
man,
And
Chris Jackson. Man, they was so mad at Chris Jackson when he changed his name. They were like, and this dude was so humble, man. That's why all this so humble stuff, man, just burns me. I understand what Dr. Weldon used to say. Francis Crescent Weldon used to say. Anybody don't want to talk about it. I don't care who they are. If they white or black, I don't care. They don't want to talk about racism, and they just hate. They mean they hate black people, man. Because this thing hurts, man. If you don't feel this kind of unjust, unmitigated, ungalled hatred. It's just so horrible. It's just so horrible, and that's what Kyrie. I saw them dudes. I have to say this. Them brothers on the TV castigating Kyrie, and the dude on the one show with the other older dude on the other show. Now on the main one of them corporate media shows. I expect him to do. He been getting paid a long time by the corporate, so I understand he gonna
yeah,
stand up for him. But dudes, you went overboard talking about intelligence. You went overboard talking about Kevin was, and was more intelligent than that. Then what? To think? So you telling me and Jalen trying to play both sides of the fence, smiling, trying to play both sides of the fence. Ain't no both sides of the fence. It's one side. And it's starting to look to a whole lot of us on the side that we ain't on nobody's side, but just truth. That the people who've been then took sides now got to go back on them sides, and they don't want to do it. So now they want to start creating some old extra bull crap to start going along with to justify their mess, instead of it just being about science. And science is the pursuit of truth, not the I closed the book, I found the truth. So any of these scientists out here that's saying they know and it's got to be this way, and I know it, I know and I know and I know, man, no, you ain't doing what's right, because what you adhere to don't say that. They say we learning until we know. We go, we think it's this until we see something else, but we always trying to see if it's something else. And so we see now that it is, because now New York City has lifted their ban for inside activities and people doing it all over the country at these indoor venues. I just saw that in the Charlotte, they say you don't have to have a COVID test or not, a negative test or not. You can come to the game. Sit courtside now. So now the excuse is, well, all these companies in New York and these private folks that couldn't go in. Now, what you gonna say when you made them not go? Now, what you gonna do? How you gonna try? You gonna treat them? That ain't fair. Oh, so it's not fair for us to change when we know to do better. If we made a mistake because we jumped and thought we needed to do and be a little heavy-handed in certain parts of this country as it related to this pandemic, and we did whatever they did to try to keep people safe, you did that. But now we in where we are now. So can we move on and get to where we are now? Because
Mm-hmm.
now y'all say it's good for everybody to just kind of almost go back to normal if they want. So why is Kyrie going to the game but can't play at the game? This don't
Exactly.
make no sense no matter how you look at it. And you can use the three blind mice who see how they run all you want to try to get on TV and clean their cups with their cans, telling us that we don't understand, but we ain't listening because Raw Truth Media is here now. And we're here to tell you that's some bull. This is some bull. Okay, this thing, obviously, we not still living with the Black Plague that happened over 100 years ago. Clearly, these things get better. And when they get better, we supposed to do better. So do better and stop acting like it's Kyrie's fault because he's so excellent, he making what y'all did look stupid. Ain't he? When y'all tried to hang him out to dry and make him look like a malcontent, now you're looking stupid. Because now it don't make no sense. It just looks punitive now. You look puny, New York. And that's what I got to say about that.
Excellent take, man. Coach Joe, man, these type of discussions, man, are well needed. No sugarcoating, no bullshitting. Kyrie Irving, man, I love watching him play. And you want to talk about a man who's mentally tough? He's the definition of it. When he
Mm,
plays on that court, cool, calm, collective, doesn't
mm.
get. And the media, the old media, in their destructive ways, always paint this man as some type of cancer in the locker room, uh, just because he has different opinions, just because he actually thinks. See, they don't like Kyrie because he's a thinking man, and he's
Mm,
not a yes man like we see
mm.
on national TV. They got these jobs, former players who get a position to work in media and sell out of they learned all the culture they've learned since growing up. All of that's out the window when they take these TV jobs. We know who they are. We got a man in Kyrie Irving. No matter if the team wins or loses, he's gonna bring it. That never changes. A man who has a father, who loves his father, credits his father for playing the way he plays.
Facts.
And you see another player in Lamelo. He has a father. You see the trend. Every time we brought this up before in the previous show, athletes with fathers, it's always they're trying to test you. They're trying to find a chink in your armor. And these athletes won't break. That's why I love watching today's athletes. It's truly amazing, man.
Oh, without a doubt, DJ. Shout out to the commercial that they did with LeBron with his young self. I love the hell out of that thing.
Oh yeah,
We live in a hell of a world, man, when you can see something like that, man, and LeBron still on the floor making magic.
that's a great commercial. And
And shout out to LeBron, man, with this 30,000 points plus, 10,000 rebounds plus, 10,000 assists plus. I mean, he ain't nobody even close to the kind of these kind of numbers. Chris Paul is the closest, and he got 10,000 of one of them.
Can you believe some people are blaming him while the Lakers are losing?
Well, I mean, look, heavy. All I can say is heavy the head that wears the crown. When you
Right.
see some LeBron is as all world as he is, for him to not be able to pull this thing out of the mud does seem a little disconcerting. It's like, really. Since the break, they've been they won two and something, and I'm just like shocked. I can't imagine them beating nobody now. I mean, this is like they're gonna be the pinata for just take all the lumps to the end of the season for everybody just gonna enjoy having fun playing them now.
Man,
Especially the closer they get to the end, man. I hope they just find a way to. I don't know. LeBron won't get off the floor. I know that, and so he gonna stand up and soldier in and do what he got to do.
I know what LeBron's thinking. He said, "Man, I wish we could do a do-over. Select the
Oh my star, ain't no do overs, man. God,
Yeah, I know.
this I want to address this thing with Russell Westbrook,
Absolutely.
because it was brought to my attention through a friend of mine that Russell was taking a stand with the media as it relates to his position on their position of calling him Russell Westbrook. And he talked about his family and how it's affecting his kids, and I think his wife, from what I understand, made some statements about it. Now, I don't usually, as you know, use secondhand people telling me stuff. This is how difficult this thing has been for me to process it. That I have stayed away from it, other than just watching, for the most part. My heart is broken because I've known who Russell for a long time, who he's been, and to see him receive the kind of lack of grace, if you will, um, whether he deserves it or not in people's minds, it's just hard. It's tough for me to hear them going through, and what a nightmare this has been for him and his family. And it's tough to see it. So my heart goes out to him and his family, and particularly his wife and his children, who are the victims of the whole show. They are what's called collateral damage. Okay, like what's going on over on the other side of the world right now with that family over there fighting, and people over there trying, over there, and it's horrible because war is horrible in all of its forms. Okay, it's horrible in all of the combatants. We're not going to compare the degrees because it's clear who is on the receiving end of the worst of it. Okay, that's clear. We don't need to argue or discuss that. But there are no victims in war because everybody comes out with something on them.
Hmm.
And that's the unfortunate, sad part about it. There are people who believe there are winners and losers. That's how somehow someone's going to come out victorious, and that means what exactly? That they're better because of it? I think not. It's unfortunate. I've been hearing really some difficult stories that I've been hearing through some of the channels that I have as some of my friends and former friends, as a former Marine myself, hearing some of the stories of what's going on over there with some of the soldiers. It's tough to hear because when it comes down to it, it's the people who were like myself, who end up used as the blunt object of these people who are far away to make these decisions to go in and do these things that those who are my contemporaries on the other side, no matter where they are the ones who have to live with it. And it's unfortunate all on all sides. But yeah, so Kyrie is unapologetic in his assault. I mean, what he did the other night in Orlando was so beautiful to watch. I mean, it was almost like it was an instructional video. It's like, okay, I'm going to show you guys. Just come along, and I'm going to show you guys in a real NBA game how you uh, take people on trips. And then we're just going to go all around the court. We're just going to take our friends with us, and they're going to appear to be guarding us, but they're really mannequins. And we're going to just show you how we put the ball in the basket from everywhere. Sort of Harlem Globetrotterish. And that's what Kyrie was doing. I was like, well, can somebody like put him on the ground or something? Like, how about a hard foul or something? And he just was over 2, 3 around left, right hand, left hand, from the back, from the left. I mean, it was like, again, it was like an instruction video of how you just do something that just don't make no sense. Looks like a video game. The level of which and the efficiency, he was 21. I think he was 20 of 31 from the field.
Man.
I mean, are you kidding me? A guard. I mean, a guard in an NBA game, and I watched the game, so I know the guys weren't just letting him shoot. I mean, he was shooting it up over 3, 4, 2, 1. He took on everybody. Everybody tried to guard him, including the dude selling popcorn. You know, they had to keep him on the sideline because, I mean, the crowd was mumbling in the beginning when he started this onslaught. By the time he finished it, they was cheering him. They were like, "Oh my God!" Because none of they dudes could make shots, and Kyrie was making shots for them and them. He was entertaining he was entertaining everybody. The visitors, the home, the people that watching, everybody was entertained. Kyrie was out there just doing magic, dispensing magic as a grown man, or as only a grown man can do, who was at the top of his craft. And for someone who loves the game like I do, it was beautiful to watch, DJ. Beautiful. Made me think about Kobe when he had that 81 against Toronto and Jalen them when they needed,
Hey, Coach Joe, I truly believe Kyrie could have had, if he really wanted to, he could have had close to 100.
No, he probably would have been in the 90s.
90s? Okay. That's why I said close to 100. That's why I didn't say 100 on the
Yeah.
dot.
He probably would have been in the 90s because I was looking at him at the end of the first half. He looked pretty gassed.
Yeah.
He looked pretty tired, and he rejuvenated himself in the second half because he clearly everybody, Kevin got more involved in the second half, and other people got involved too. And it became just the score was so big that it was just like rubbing it in to let Kyrie continue to cook.
It was dumb to see.
But that was just so beautiful to watch, and I'm just really enjoying watching the NBA and the guys at the top, these grown men we talk about all the time on this show, take turns throughout the league and just showing how excellent they really are. Kevin's 53, and also we got to talk about Big Cat 60. Both Big Cat and Kyrie are both from New Jersey. So Cat put a tweet out, I think, about just a couple boys from Jersey having a night to themselves, both scoring 60. That's just amazing. So, DeMar has had an amazing year, and what he's done in that 30-something what run he went on. And Joel Embiid has just been amazing. I gotta admit, I have been befuddled by Joel Embiid because I'm just holding my breath every time he goes on these little man escapades, what I call them, when these big dudes start acting like little dudes, thinking they can move, like he did the other day. Yeah, like he did the other day where he got challenged at the rim and fell on his back. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Man.
I mean, oh my,
Ballerina in the paint, coach.
huh?
ballerina, ballerina in the paint.
Yes, oh my stars, a ballerina in the paint. You ain't lying, Tim Burr. I mean, it was just ridiculous. I just see. I mean, he hurt me over here. I was hurt watching it. I'm like, I'm hollering. My neighbors going, "Is everything all right?" Yeah, it's just Joel Embiid over here trying to impersonate somebody that he ain't. I mean, there's a reason you ain't supposed to be dribbling the ball with one leg and jumping off one foot, boy. There's a reason your big old behind ain't supposed to be doing that. Because you ain't supposed to be coming down from them heights. Mass equals force and speed and all that. Brother, that you got bones. Cut it out. So when he got up from that, DJ, and went to the free throw line and he kept playing. I was like, wait a minute, must be a new Joel. Because the Joel I know who fell like that, oh my stars, he'd have been out at least about 4 games. They would have helped him off the floor. The whole 9 yards, just the whole theater of it all. But he's a new Joel Embiid, and his game is reflecting. He is scoring at 3 levels now. Literally, he is a threat at 3 levels. That's amazing for a dude as big as he is, because he's Goliath. He truly is Goliath, I think. What do you think about that?
No, I agree. I agree, coach.
Yeah.
He's, he's the Goliath of this new generation.
Man, oh man, is he Goliath? Bleacher Report, shout out to Bleacher Report. I look at them sometime. I don't know about if you do too as well, DJ.
No, I do
They,
too.
they got that thing where they got the little verses. Have you seen that with the little space thing?
No,
Where
I
they
didn't
got
see that yet.
they got these little videos of clips of like a Space Jam type thing where they put matchups of different eras together. So KD is playing 1-on-1 to 11 Larry Bird, and Kyrie's playing AI, and Charles is playing Embiid, and I think that might be it. And it's really funny. You
I
know,
gotta check that out.
it's really funny. So yeah. So Jason Tatum. I mean, what he's been doing, and the Boston Celtics. Shout out to them. They beat Golden State tonight to extend their lead. I remember not that long ago, DJ, when they were not very good.
Yeah, they shout out to the coaching staff. A lot of folks I saw it on social media was counting them out, and he's proven a lot of people wrong.
Is he not?
Yeah,
Shout out to Coach Ndoka. I mean, is he not making people swallow they whistle? I mean, the Hornets. I mean, the Hornets. The Celtics look like a completely different squad.
but
This team here looks like the team Marcus Smart was saying he thought they could be, or he was mad that they weren't already earlier in the year when they were having problems. And it looked like to me what has happened is the proper order has returned to the ball club, meaning Jason Tatum first, Jaylen Brown second,
hmm
Marcus Smart third, and everybody else fall in line. And now that that's clear, the roles are clear. The shot distribution is clear. Everybody is playing accordingly. And tonight was a classic example. Jaylen Brown played better than Jason Tatum, but Jason was right there, and he was more the focal point. And it didn't look like that same tension existed on the floor as it used to. And their role players, the others played really well. Pritchard hit a lot of big threes to keep their run going tonight. When Golden State was clearly Jordan Poole has been playing his butt off. I mean, wow! When he was in the third quarter, just keeping them in the game, it wasn't just enough. He didn't get enough on that side to help him. Shout out to Steph that he ends up all right.
yeah,
Marcus rolled up on his foot, and so he was having an MRI tonight.
and can I say this, Coach Joe?
Yeah.
And before we wrap everything up, um, I know people want to say that Marcus Smart is a dirty player. I watched it again. He just one of those players. He plays so hard
Mm-hmm.
that I don't think he realizes that that could hurt somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't like, oh, I gotta uh, take out Steph's knee. No, he was when he dived for the ball, he was doing anything to grab the ball, and he
No, without a well, no. See. To me, what was happening there clearly is what you said. Marcus Smart, which it was playing hard, and it was unfortunate. But to me, Steph wasn't playing with the same about amount of force and focus either. See. It's similar to me what LeBron happened when that kid rolled up on him from Atlanta, Solomon Hill, last year. You remember that, DJ?
yeah, I remember that.
LeBron was going through the motions of picking the ball up too, kind of, to get rolled up on. If I'm on the floor and I'm playing with Marcus Smart, I don't know. I'm gonna be watching him, and if the ball is loose around him, he probably gonna go at it 100 miles an hour. Been doing it forever. So I'm not giving him a pass for it. I'm just calling saying this is the truth. I didn't think he was trying to be dirty, but it resulted in Steph, leaving the game and having to have an MRI. And I'm just hoping it comes back as negative and it's just a little, a
Mhm.
little a bone, a little bruise. But Marcus rolled up on it pretty good, and Steph has had problems with his feet and ankles and all that. So it was obviously a big concern for Golden State and those
Did
who
you
are
see
who.
Steve Kerr try to call out on the court Marcus
Well,
Smart?
he did call him out. He called him out, and I got to say, DJ, I was okay with it, as I think Adoka was as well,
Right.
because Steve is one of the few players that was coaches that was a player as well.
Mm-hmm.
So just like Adoka was a player as well, and both of them know what kind of play that was. Whichever coach you are that's sitting on whichever bench it is, the one that Steph's or Marcus, you're gonna have different points of views. Period. But the other ones are each of them gonna respect both of them. No,
Exactly.
we know
That's
that.
and like you said, Steve Kerr is a former player. Marcus Smart is a current NBA athlete, and it's just two men giving their opinion. Steve Kerr said what he said. Marcus gave his opinion. So hey, I wasn't trying
Facts.
to hurt the brother.
Facts.
Everybody knows how important Steph Curry is. I don't think anybody, even when Steph Curry drops 60 on someone, no one's. Everybody knows if you hurt Steph Curry, you the league hurts.
Facts.
The NBA makes way more money when Steph Curry's
Facts.
on that court.
Facts. Facts.
But Coach Joe, any last words before we roll, man?
Well,
This has
DJ,
been a fun
this is just
show.
wonderful. This is just wonderful.
Woo.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the idea. I was excited, to talk about Lamelo and the Hornets, what they did, and also the NBA at large. I think this is, we should do more of this kind of stuff. There's a lot going on. The playoffs are coming up, and there's some compelling stories, DJ, every night almost. So and compelling performances as well. And so I want to thank you for, I know you just got off work as well, for spending your time and your effort and bringing your energy to this whole thing as well as you always do. I appreciate you, and so much love in my heart for you for doing that. And to the family as well, as always, thank you guys as well for always tuning in and listening and being faithful as you are to Raw Truth Media. Appreciate you so much. And as I always like to say in Ubuntu, because of me, you are. Because of you, I am. We are one. Blessings and lots of love to all. Good night.